Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening and welcome to our call for tonight. And if you can see me on YouTube, I'll be able to see your questions. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Restream chat here so that I'll be able to see any questions that you might have. So if you want to just ask them there on YouTube, I will be able to see them. Okay, so this is our Tuesday training. We tend to go about 30, I'd say about 30 minutes and sometimes less than that. And what we try to do is to cover something that is a little different that you will need to make the most of your video PLR. So again, I mean, if you have any questions, feel free to write them there in YouTube. I'll be able to see them there. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we do these trainings every Tuesday. You can join us at theplrshow.com every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can, if you want to see the archive of training that we have available, you can find it at youtube.com/GameMindshare. If you check the strategy area, or if you check the Tuesday training area, you'll be able to see it there. Okay, so any questions before we get started? All right, so let's go ahead and get into the strategy. And basically what we want to talk about tonight are uses for the contextual slides and transcripts that you get with video PLR. In particular, that content that you get from over-the-shoulder videos. And this is always going to be a little different when you get it, because obviously if you get slides and there are PowerPoint slides and they're sort of text-based. I mean, what you can do with that is pretty obvious. So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on that. That would be the same thing you can do with any text-based article, right? So that's not necessarily going to be any different, whether you get it in the form of an article or whether you get it in the form of a PowerPoint. And you can use those things. I mean, you can use them as handouts. You can use them as different PDFs. But what I'm talking about tonight are the slides that you're going to get when the course is not a PowerPoint course, where in fact what you're getting, in particular, if you get our content, we are demonstrating a process, and we're demonstrating it on screen. And so the strategy is always going to be different with that kind of content, and that's what I want to talk about here tonight. And one thing that you can do, and I'm kind of giving you some just a way to frame this. The way to frame what we're going to talk about tonight is overcoming platform limitations. Overcoming platform limitations. For example, typically, if you get PLR videos and you were to go to Udemy, they do not want that on Udemy. In other words, they don't want 10,000 people going with the same video course to upload it there, let's say as a course on Facebook. That's not what they want, because those are their students, and they're looking to give their students a good user experience. And so they pretty much say in the terms of service that you agree when you put your courses there, and Skillshare is going to be the same thing, that this is not going to be content that you bought, that you didn't create, you don't have rights for. So, but if you have slides and transcripts, you can overcome that, because you're going to basically be recreating the course anyway if you choose to go that route. Now, let's talk about what contextual slides are. And basically, here's what I'm pulling: a contextual slide here from one video inside of one course. And this is what it looks like. So basically, this is a contextual slide. And this is a contextual slide from our Warrior Plus course, where basically we are demonstrating part of a process. And if you were to follow along this, these slides, there's another part of it, right? You'll see that. And we do this with all of the courses that we've been doing since the beginning of 2020, where we give you these contextual slides, for this purpose, that you can take them and you can use them. Now, again, I'm pretty sure that you have other uses other than what I'm going to explain to you tonight. I want to give you just some ways to think about this so that you take that content, you really are putting it to use when you get it. And again, this is what a slide looks like. Actually, this is the screenshot. All I did was pull the screenshot into the slide presentation. So if you were going to, let's say, do a video, you could do a video just on this slide if you wanted to. Now I've got the whole video covered where I basically went through the entire process and outlined it in the slide, but you could basically almost create a video just from this one slide. There's this part of the slide. So in other words, one of the things that I was explaining here is the fact that when you start with Warrior Plus, part of what you got to be consider, what you've got to consider is that you've got an affiliate score. And so that affiliate score is going to be the basis for sometimes if a vendor decides you're going to accept you as an affiliate or not. So sometimes you might get a message that says, hey, we don't take any affiliates at all. And the reason that that happens is going to be because of your affiliate score. And again, I explained this in the course, but if you had this slide, you wouldn't even have to go through all the slides in order to explain that to your customer. You could just have this one slide and you could be explaining that to your customer. That's really what these contextual slides are going to be for. Now, again, when you get the contextual slides, you're going to have the transcript and immediately what kind of comes to mind is, oh, okay, well, I can create the course over and I can read the transcript. And I would suggest that you not do that. I want to give you some other alternatives here in this session. Okay, so then this is kind of just the just another part of the process. Again, all this contextual slide does is it demonstrates, it's actually the video. So in other words, at every key point in the video, what we do is we stop the video, we take a snapshot of where we are, and then we give you that, right? So what can you do with these contextual slides? That's the question, isn't it? So you have them. So what can you do with them? Well, one thing you can do as always is you can now actually give your customer a PDF and you can give it to them to follow along. What I would do with those slides is I would then mark them up. I would rebrand them. I would maybe make them so that they are only part of the screen or part of the slide and maybe put your brand at the top. You can make sure you're going to put a URL in there. But basically, you're going to take these over-the-shoulder PDFs, over-the-shoulder slides, and you're going to turn them into PDFs, and your customer is going to be able to follow along. You can create cheat sheets and handouts. So in other words, you could take any one of the slides and you can use it as a step 1, a step 2, a step 3, and call it a cheat sheet. And it really would be a cheat sheet. The only thing that I would suggest that you do is you take the transcript and you really do, let's say, maybe take a few lines of the transcript and then add in the screenshot or the slide. You can also create another version of the course. Now, again, I'm not a big fan of this, but I know some people really do want to do it. Maybe you might be that person. And one thing you can do is you can create another version of the course to sell yourself when you use it with the transcripts, because the transcripts are basically me narrating this video, and you're able to take those slides that I just showed you to follow along and narrate to your customer. The other thing you can do with these slides is you can take the illustrations, you can put them in your Kindle or CreateSpace book. So in other words, if you're doing a CreateSpace book on a particular topic and the topic that we're covering in the video is going to come up, you can do a Kindle book or a CreateSpace book. And actually, again, I'm going to talk about this a little later, that you want to make sure your book is still going to be unique. But again, the illustrations are going to make it and bring it to another level that other people are not going to have in their Kindle book. Now, one of the things I do want to point out to you is that when you have the slides, you can create YouTube videos to promote your course. Typically, we do not provide, and I don't know that there are PLR creators that do provide the rights for you to use the video content on YouTube. And I think you can understand that. What you don't want to do is to have the content devalued by everybody going to YouTube and making it free there, and making it part of a video sharing site. That's not what you want to do. That's not what a vendor wants to do. So it's not that they don't want to give you the rights. It's not that I don't want to give you the rights. It's that I don't want you to devalue your purchase, and I don't want to devalue it for the person who's actually going to go out and sell it. But what you can also do, though, right? I know people want to really create a lot of YouTube videos. I create YouTube videos for my channel. You may want to do it for yours also. Is you can use these slides. And so basically that's what you're going to be doing. If you want to go to YouTube and you want to promote the course, you can create your own video from the slides that you get in the over-the-shoulder course. Now, again, you're going to need to be able to narrate, but that's what you use the transcript for, to create your script. What I really like to do is to create training webinars. So, if you're going to create a training webinar, maybe you're going to create a webinar that people get after they've purchased, and as part of their purchase, they get to come on a webinar where you're going to train them for free, right? You can do what I call a post-sale webinar. And what you're going to do at the post-sale webinar, of course, is you're going to train. And what you're really doing, though, is you're going to then give people the opportunity to buy the upsell. So you're training for a reason. You're not just training. Well, I mean, of course, you are training to give value to your customers, but you also are going to upsell at the end of that session. You can also use the slides as a pre-sale webinar. It's the same process. And basically, you're going to use it to sell the actual course. I'm going to talk through the logic of this later on this session. Let's talk about creating another version of the course, or maybe even creating a book or create space book. Let's say you choose to create another version of the course. Maybe you're going to create the course on a platform like Skillshare. And there are a lot of platforms available. Please, this is just a smattering of them. These are marketplaces. That's why I have these here. It's not that you can't do something like Learn Worlds, or I think it's Udacity. Basically, this is a marketplace, and what I'm saying is you can create a course for the marketplace. Why would you do that? Well, you create a course for the marketplace so you can get eyeballs on your brand. Maybe nobody's going to buy it, but maybe somebody will. But what you're also going to be able to do, though, is you're going to be able to position yourself as an educator on Udemy just by having a course there, and people are going to click on your profile and your brand. So look, the more courses that you have there, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter if people don't buy them. What matters is you're getting exposure, and people are going to be clicking through to your brand. And what you're using this going to be, you're going to be using it as a way to sell courses, obviously, but also as a way to do lead gen. Now, I said all that to say that you can't use your video content this way, because again, we don't provide the rights to do that, nor do most PLR creators, but you can take the slides and create another version of the course to create the videos. So if you want to get on a site like this, right, Skillshare or Udemy, or you want to do a Kindle book where the content has to be original, then yeah, this is a case where you're going to take the slides and the transcript and do another version of the course yourself. I do not recommend that you do a lot of that. But again, if that's what you want to do, you want to go that route, that's what these slides and the transcripts are going to be for. What these platforms want for you to do, right, is they view the people who are buying these things, Skillshare, Udemy, Kindle, they view those as their customers. And they allow you to be on their site to reach their customers at their convenience. And basically, they're giving you a cut, or they're giving you traffic, or they're giving you visibility, but you got to follow their rules. And what they want you to do is they don't want to have their customers downloading something and feeling like, well, you know what? I just saw this on another site. These are the same videos that I got someplace else. You don't want that to happen, to your account or to your profile. So what you want to do is you want to create your own version of the course, right? And you use the slides in order to do that. So don't just read the transcript verbatim, add to it. Add some other case studies, add some other information, add some quotations, add some research that you did on the topic, add in subject matter experts. So where you're going to talk to somebody on the actual topic, add in case studies, what we just talked about. And again, please do not just take the transcript and just reread it, right? Verbatim. Please don't do that. If you're going to go as far as to use that content, and you're going to redo it, and you're going to put it on the platform, please do not jeopardize your account by not providing something of value. Put something together that's going to be value. Again, think about this. They're allowing you to reach their customers, and they're doing that, and they're giving you a privilege. If you look at it as, I'm going to throw some stuff up there, I'm going to throw some rights up on the wall, see if it's going to stick. I want to get sales. It's all my thing. You're missing the opportunity. You're violating their terms of service, and there's no reason to do that. Okay, now, if you're going to have rewritten content, you're going to go to Kindle with this, have it rewritten. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Does that cost you? Yes. But why go through the trouble of publishing a book and then just use content as is? Don't do that. Right? You got more than enough content within the transcripts to have something rewritten and turned into something that's going to be nice for the customer to read, and it's going to be a good experience for their customers. You can use your slides as part of your weekly workshop, which I hope you're doing. I say that every week, so I hope that you're really doing that. You should definitely be part of using these slides as part of your regular training. Take 2 or 3 videos of slides, right? And explain the process all the way through. And what you're doing when you do that is you're demonstrating the value of the course. So in other words, yeah, take the slides and work through, 2 or 3 examples. You probably don't have time to work through a lot of examples anyway. So if our course, let's say, has 20 videos, you're going to have 20 sets of these slides. Take 2 or 3 of them and work through a couple of processes. And what you're doing is you're saying, here's what we do in the course. That's basically what you're saying. And, once you've hit 30 minutes, and it doesn't take long to go 30 minutes, I'll tell you that, and you've answered some questions, you can just tell people, hey, we've got other videos that walk you through other essential processes. Now, that may not be copywriter friendly. There may be a better way to say that. There may be a better sales way to say that, but that's what you're trying to convey. That I've just shown you 2 or 3 step-by-step processes. We've got other step-by-step processes in the course, and you can get them, when you click our link or whatever you're going to say. So you're using the slides in your weekly workshop, demonstrating a process. And, again, if you're going to be doing a post-sale webinar to your customers, this works extremely well. So let's talk about that post-sale webinar training. So the post-sale webinar is really designed for you to support your customer. And so basically what you're saying is, you buy this product, I'm gonna do a live training. And when you do that live training, what you're doing is you're going to be giving people some tangible things that they can do. And one of the best ways to do that is to use the slides that you have. And again, work through some of the same processes or different processes. Doesn't really matter, right? You need the slide to show certain processes. Now, once the customer, the customer's already purchased the product, so you don't have to sell them on the product, but you can sell them on the upsell. And how do you sell them on the upsell? Well, you explain strategy, and you continue to show them all the benefits. In fact, you can take maybe one of the processes or the slides from the upsell course and do that on your post-sale webinar. And you can say, hey, we've got 5 other processes just like these in the upsell, right? That's a good way to be able to do that. And you can also, of course, use them if you really just want to give on that post-sale webinar. You can just use them as a way to explain strategy, right? You can do that too. Now, one thing that I you're going to have to think creatively about are things like low content books, guides, and workbooks. But these are available if you use your slides and you think about them and you are creative. You start thinking about putting things on Kindle. Think also creatively about ways to combine the transcripts with the slides for low content books. So again, think about how you would map out a guide in some kind of paperback book, right? Think about a journal kind of thing. If you're going to do a workbook, or if you're going to do some kind of certification where you're going to ask people questions, they're going to have to read the slides. Again, this is a good thing to do, and it doesn't cost you anything to try to sell these things on Amazon, specifically with Kindle. Study guides and exams. Now, you might feel like, well, this stuff is not for school, but if somebody's going to actually go through a class or they're going to go through a certification, you can give people a study guide to do that. And basically what we're doing here is we're using the slide content. It's an alternative to just creating a physical, a Kindle or straight up conventional book. So I'm saying, think outside of the box and think about a way to create a journal. Think about a way to create a low content book. Take the slide content and the transcript, think about a process, and maybe you just want to take one process and work through a guide and turn it into something. Also, create physical cheat sheets. You know, think about having something laminated. Now, again, this takes some other skill, and I'm not going to go over how you work with FBA or Amazon FBA and all that stuff and drop shipping. That's not the point of this. Point of me telling you this is that this is possible and people do it all the time. And what you want to do is you want to just kind of make sure that along with the digital product, you're giving people something of value, right? You can do that with this, with this slide content because it's unique. Anytime you get slide content with over the shoulder videos, that's unique, right? There are a lot of things you can do with it. And so when you start going down this route, this is not going to be a one size fits all solution. So it's not going to be that. So I can't tell you exactly how this is going to work and which things are going to work with Amazon or what platform you're going to use. But whatever your market or niche is, if you think how can I give people a physical book? What can I give to people that's going to be tangible and concrete? Right? What can I give people? Now, if you can think through that, whatever you come up with is going to be niche specific. So think niche specific. Think how can I niche down, my content and put it in something physical? You know why I like this? And I didn't say this. I did say this. Actually, let me kind of go back. This is important. When you build something physical, you are creating a relationship with your customer that allows them to have to give you a physical address. And as time goes forward, you are going to want to bulletproof your list by also having this physical address where you can send things. And you can get those things by giving them something to buy from you that requires them to get it by giving you their address. Now, that's going to be tricky on Amazon. I don't think they give you the address information. So you're going to have to try to figure out how to get people to buy something that's not going to be on Amazon's site, right? But having said that, once you do that, you're going to be building a physical list, right? Okay. Any questions? Thank you, Dana. Thank you. I appreciate that. Any questions? Okay, make sure that you've got our new Warrior Plus videos. Now, if you are an Ultimate Insider, obviously you don't need to have this. So you've already got it in your August folder. But you can still get the PLR videos at plrshow.com/WPLS3, right? There's a new brain health PLR package. You can get that at plrshow.com/Dr. Loy, right? Dr. Loy Puckett has released something new on brain health. If you're into that, and then quite frankly, probably all need to be into that to some degree. This is something interesting that kind of came in my inbox this week or last week from Evan Pagan. If you and those of you who are familiar with Evan Pagan, and I thought this was really kind of cool because on the same day, this is when my friend Chad also did his limiting beliefs. So again, you're going to be in good company. If you decide to do limiting beliefs, and Chad's got something at the plrshow.com/Chad E. Also, I did an interview today with Dr. Loy. I released that interview today. You can find it at the plrshow.com/Tuesday PLR show. And if you're new to us, you can get access to our PLR newsletter, plrshow.com. Make sure that you just go to the site there and we will make sure that you are on our newsletter. If you want to be positioned as an educator, you can do that at plrshow.com/insider training. And we are training on a weekly basis. Also, just as one more reminder, apparently the Coursium bundle is still available, right? I thought it would be canceled by now. I don't know how long it's going to be available. So it's still at this URL as far as I know. Now, time permitting, I don't know when it's going to be. I don't know when you're going to hear this. So if you still want to get the bundle, you can do that, plrshow.com/live guest. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with us here. I appreciate you all. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.